So I'm here in Alentejo with Sofia.
Hi, my name is Sofia Uva, and we are wine producers in Alentejo. This is our farm. We are in the wine business for 3 years now, since 2004. We have the vineyards for many years, but the cellar we decided to make it in 2004. It's been a very good experience, and well, I hope you come here and see with your own eyes.
Your vineyards, you have 140 hectares, I think you said.
Yes, exactly. We have 1,400 hectares in the total, but vineyards, it's only 10%, so it's around 140 hectares.
And you make both white and red wine?
Yes, we make wine, white wine, red wine and rosé wine.
What grape varieties do you use for the white wines?
The white wines we use Antão Vaz, that is a Portuguese grape variety, Perrum and Verdelho.
Verdelho
yes,
also?
Those three grape varieties, it's the ones we use in the white wines. And then the rosé wine, well, we use, one of them we use Aragonês, and in the other we use Aragonês and Antão Vaz also.
One of the interesting things I think with the tasting we just had is that you, or as you said, you don't want to make terribly expensive wines.
No, of course not. No, because the wine market is very, it's a very competitive market here in Portugal. Everybody makes wine. So we decided, especially in our lowest wines, not
entry level.
Yes, entry level. We are not going to attack people with the high prices. We earn the least we can, so that people start to buy our wines and get used to drink our wines. And then in the upper level wines, the highest wines, then there we can have some profit to compensate the profit that we don't have in the other ones.
And you do make some very good entry-level wines. It's not quite fair to call it entry-level, I think, because it's very good wines.
Yes,
very fresh wines.
Sometimes it is a problem because we sell wines to supermarkets, and people are used to pay €2 for a wine and drink that wine, and that it is a very easy wine to drink, and that doesn't happen with our red wine, because our red wine is too good for €2. Yes. People maybe would pay 4 or 5, but not 2, and so sometimes people are not used to taste that flavors in a €2 wine.
But then also you make some very ambitious wines, and actually I think one of the things I thought about the tasting we've just had with your wines was that you make wines which are very, very well balanced. You have a lot of good structure, a lot of ripe tannins, but also very full-bodied and fruity wines. And sometimes Portuguese wines are a bit harsh. But yes. I find your wines very, very drinkable.
Well, that is the work of our enologist, of course, and he likes to make a little plays. He likes to play with the wines, and his concern, his primary concern, is that the wines are good to drink. People like to drink that wine. So, for instance, that red reserve that we drank, now it is very good. But in the first year, it was very aggressive. So we have to maybe sacrifice 1 or 2 years in each bottle, so that it became the wine that we want. So we don't add anything on the wine just to make it easier to drink on the moment. We prefer to wait 1 or 2 years, and then the wine will be good in his own time.
And then you make 2 very special wines, special cuvées, if you want to call it. You have one which is called Uvas Castas.
Yes.
Which is, we have it here with the unusual label.
This one.
Yes, the one in the middle. Tell us what that is. It's a very unusual wine.
We have wine here in Portugal that is a mixture of 2 regions. And picking that concept, we decided to make a wine of 2 regions also. it is not not allowed. Well, it is allowed by law. We just can't write a vinho regional alentejano, but it is allowed. It's not forbidden. And we decided we had a chance. That is my grandmother.
Well, your grandmother, yes, your grandmother
has a farm in Douro, a small farm, and they have very good grapes and very good vineyards. Very old also. So we decided to, well, why won't we buy some grapes from her and mix it with Alentejo grapes and make something new? And that was a little thing that our enologist thought it would be a very good idea, and it has been a very good idea because it is 50% Douro grapes and 50% Alentejo grapes. And we picked them. We went there, we picked them, and then we brought them by night, and everything was made here in our cellar in Alentejo. The fermentation, everything was made here.
Very unusual and very interesting. And then the other special, unusual cuvée you have is I'm not sure how to pronounce it in Portuguese.
Vinhas da Ira.
Vinhas da Ira, which is a literal reference to the book Grapes of Wrath.
Exactly, from John
Why
Steinbeck.
Grapes of Wrath?
Well, my father is always saying that he was forced to enter the wine market.
Sounds painful.
Well, not in a very painful way, but he was forced in some way,
yes,
because he had the vineyards. So if the vineyards were giving every year less money. People were paying less for every kilo of grapes. So he said, well, or I'll do a cellar of my own, or this won't work because they use a lot of water and we have to take care of the vineyards, and then people wouldn't pay for that. So he said, well, okay, let's go start a cellar. And he was forced by that to enter the wine market and everything that has to do with wine, because it wasn't his preoccupation.
But also, it's very unusual because of the way it's been grown. If I
yes,
remember.
the vineyards.
You have grapes which are
exactly the vineyard is divided in sectors, and there is one sector that is the 25th that is called in Portuguese Talhão 25, and it is. In the old days, people used to plant the grape varieties, one seed of each grape variety. So the mixture was made inside in the land, not in the cellar like today. So that's what happened in that small space of vineyard.
So you don't know which grape varieties
we
you have.
We don't know
really.
exactly which grape varieties are there. We just know that all that arrangement gives a very good wine. So we started to make the Vinhas da Ira, and maybe there will be 1 year that we won't have Vinhas da Ira because it isn't so good. The grapes weren't so good that year, but the year after probably yes, and that's how we make it. We only make Vinhas da Ira with that small piece of land.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.